Good morning, shave fanatics. This is Barber Dave with Barber Dave Barbershop at Home, and welcome to day number 5 of the tour of Saponificio Varesino. Today is going to be one that most people don't really know about. It's one of their lesser known versions, and it's called Mirto di Sardegna, or Myrtle of Sardinia. Basically, the Myrtle of Sardinia is very popular in Italian culture because there's a berry, a red berry and a white berry, and that berry is used to make a liqueur called Myrtle. And it comes in Myrtle Rosso or Myrtle Blanca. And it's a very, very juniper forward, piney, bitter, but also very sweet liqueur that is enjoyed in Sardinia and Corsica. And it's almost like a very deep red wine. And that was kind of the inspiration behind Mirto di Sardegna. Or Myrtle of Sardinia. The notes are, top notes are lemon, lime, and lavender. So you get the citrus opening. Once again, Italian Colonia, you get the citrus opening, but you get a sharp lavender right out of the gate. And then your middle notes are the myrtle, the tea, and the amber. Now, the myrtle is really exposed on this one. And the myrtle, like I said, it's got a very peppery, junipery, pine-ish scent, and you hit that right out of the gate. So that middle note kind of goes through the top, middle, and base through the whole thing. And then, of course, a very woody aromatic at the bottom, which is sandalwood, white moss, and vetiver. So if you're a wine drinker or a liqueur drinker, you'll probably like this spicy. It's also one of their stronger ones. And it also is the first iteration, I believe, of the Beta 4.3 on the soap. And of course, the aftershave has all the goodness that it always has. So for today, we're going to use a razor that I haven't used in a while. It is a Gillette Red Tip with a Astra SP blade in it. The Sorrentino BrushWorks Luca Brasi with a 2-band silver tip. Of course, the Mirto di Sardegna. And of course, the aftershave. So, had an interesting Zoom call last night with everybody, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So other than that, we hope everybody's doing well. I did get notification today that my shave shirts are on the way. I know that Dave in Kentucky already has his, but we're, after talking on the forum last night, we're convinced that the reason why Dave gets a lot of stuff early by mail is because he pays his post office or his postman in muffins. Those of you that follow Dave will notice that a lot of baked goods. Okay, so that was about 10-15 seconds on the load. And right out of the gate, very sharp, very pungent, almost a cedary note, but you can smell the juniper and the pine. To me, it smells a little bit, and Nurse Dave may appreciate this. To me, it smells a little bit like a deep red Cab, Shiraz, or Merlot. If you were to mix those together. Just a little bit more water. This one's a little bit more water dependent, but once you get the water ratio right, it just explodes. And even though the Mirto, as they call it, the drink, the liqueur, is said to be very, very, well, it is. It's very, very sweet. There's only one distillery in the United States that you can get Mirto from unless you make it yourself. And I don't know as far as the exportation or the importation of the myrtle beans or the myrtle fruit from Sardinia, because they're really mostly grown in Sardinia and Corsica. But there's no sweetness. I mean, you can barely detect any sweetness in this soap, but really no, it's more spicy. And like I said, to me, it's got a wine type vibe going to it. Not a real heavy scent, but sharper. Okay. Be interesting, I have not used this red tip in a while. Like anything else, the super speeds and the tech razors are so intuitive. And the super speeds came, I believe, in 4 iterations. Yeah, the regular super speed that was just no color on the handle. You had the red tip, which I believe was the most aggressive. I can't remember the blue tip, and maybe it was just the regular, the blue tip and the red tip, I believe. I'm not up on that. KJ would be the man to know. But it's a fun razor to use. The first thing you notice about the 4.3, now this, like I said, was the first iteration of the 4.3, is the post-pass slickness. Super slick. Feels good on the skin. Easy to lather. And like I said, that pungentness of the Myrtle, or the Myrtle rather, is really the dominating scent during the shave, and even on the aftershave itself. So the fire, we are no longer, we're still in set. They took us off of set, put us in ready. And for those of you just joining us, we have an evacuation system here. I'm not sure, I think it's nationwide now. That is called Ready, Set, Go. Obviously, ready is paying attention to what's going on with the evacuations. Set is to have a bag packed, a go bag, and ready to go at a moment's notice. Then go is obvious, go. Right now, the majority of the foothills area, including our community and parts of Tucson, are under ready. The Summer Haven and the Ski Valley and General Hitchcock, which are communities and areas, including Palisades, the ranger station, and everything up on Mount Lemmon, are under go because the fire exploded from about 15,000 acres to over 24,000 acres in 24 hours. That was in large part of the fact that the fire crews couldn't get to the fire because of the winds, and the air assets were grounded. But it burned along an entire ridge. Those of you that have been following the pictures have seen the pictures I've sent. Well, that ridge that's right directly behind my house, it burned all the way across that to an area called, it's called Samaniego Ridge. And then it also is on its way burning to what they call Charlotte Gap, which is a 4-wheel drive trail and a gap in the mountain that goes to a small town northeast of us called Oracle. And it sits at about 5,200 feet. And now they're under a set order for Oracle. And Oracle is not huge, but it's sizable. And so everybody's, tense about that. We're supposed to have another windy fire day. Whether or not it's going to ground the air assets, I don't know. But for the first time, I actually saw some night operations from the air last night. and I think it was more observational. Because obviously I don't think they were dropping anything. But it's still pretty tense around here. And then between Oracle and us is a retirement community called Saddlebrook, and then of course you got Saddlebrook Ranch, where the new shop's going to be. And those are not, Saddlebrook Ranch is not in danger at this point, as it would have to burn through a whole bunch of stuff, including the Biosphere 2, before it ever got to there. So we're not exactly concerned about it, but they say that the next 48 hours are very critical for this fire. Containment last night was set at 35 or 40%. They expect that containment's going to drop a ton after today's assessment. So we'll see. So back to the Myrtle. Like I said, I'm getting strong juniper peppery notes. And I've drank the Myrtle before, so you're getting that more than anything else. Like I said, it's a nice liqueur, very wine-like in my opinion. Sweet, but you don't get the sweet notes in the soap. Post shave is just tremendous. Very easy to do a little bit of cleanup without any soap whatsoever. And that's really why the Beta 4.3 is so nice. And really the top of the heap. I don't know if they're going to develop a Beta 4.4, but I find it hard to believe that they could get one that's even slicker and more performance oriented. That's all natural, that gives you the post-shave feel, because the 4.3 definitely gives the best hydrating post-shave feel. And like I said, you've got tons and tons of lather. You could probably load this thing for 5 seconds and be enough if you're a saver of the lather, as they say. And I do recommend, I mean, you can use it with anything, whether it be, I've used, you know, synthetic, badger, or boar. For this soap, I prefer using a badger. And quite frankly, I prefer using a badger all the time. But that's, you know, your mileage may vary. Okay, as always with all of the Saponificio Varesino aftershaves, you want to shake real well to mix everything up. And then, unlike most aftershaves, you want to rub this in to your skin. And like I said, just a few drops. And this one's the Mirto is a little bit thinner than some. But the peppery note is really, and I've said this, the star of the show. But like I said, it's got it does seem to me very dark red wine. That's what it reminds me of. And that's probably because they use the Mirto drink as an inspiration. Of course, we'll be using some talc today. And Fluffy, Ken, was under the impression that I may own a quarry in Italy that mines talc. I'll never tell. Although to be quite frank, there are very, very few talcs that are still using the rock derivative of talcum. Most are using cornstarch. There's a few out there, but they're wonderful. Now the Boro talco goes very well with the Mirto. I'm noticing. It's the first time I've used talc with the Mirto. But just a nice peppery finish, not strong, but enough that it's there more than anything else. So there you go, folks. That's day number 5. That's Mirto di Sardegna. If you like spicy, peppery soaps and aftershaves with a colonia base, I would definitely recommend this. If you're a wine drinker, you've had Mirto in Sardinia or Corsica, it's got that red wine, Cabernet, Shiraz, Merlot kind of vibe to it. Not quite as sweet, a little bit more on the peppery side. I think you'll like this soap. The Beta 4.3 formula is stupendous. So that's it, everybody. I certainly appreciate, as do Chad and Chris, you being members of the Shaving Cadre. And if you have not seen us, it's www.theshavingcadre.com. Come and join us. Lots of things going on over there, other than shaving as well. And then for this and all things Saponificio Varesino, www.saponificiovaresino.com. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow for day 6 of the tour of Saponificio Varesino. Have a great day.